I cheated and left my husband for another man, then came back with his baby. Only to watch him lock me out and cut off his parents for defending me. I need to tell you something, and I already know how this is going to sound. I know what you're thinking before I even start. But I'm going to tell it anyway, because maybe someone out there needs to hear how fast you can ruin your entire life without even realizing it's happening. My husband's name is Owen. Civil engineer, steady paycheck, never missed a birthday or anniversary. 6 years married, 8 together total. He was the guy who made coffee every morning before I was awake, who left those stupid sticky notes in my lunch bag with terrible puns written on them. Have a grape day. With a drawing of a grape. That kind of thing. I loved him. I did. But somewhere around year 5, I started feeling like I was suffocating. Not because Owen did anything wrong. That's the part that makes this so much worse. He was good to me. Reliable. Present. All the things you're supposed to want in a partner. But our life had become this endless loop of sameness. Wake up, coffee, work, dinner, TV, bed. Repeat. Weekend trips to the same lake. The same restaurants. The same conversations about his projects and my events and what we should do with the spare bedroom. I felt invisible. Not to him, to myself. I'm an event coordinator. I plan corporate galas, product launches, charity fundraisers. It's high pressure, fast paced, and I'm good at it. Really good. But Owen never really got it. He'd ask how work was, and I'd try to explain the chaos of managing vendors and egos and last-minute disasters, and he'd nod politely before changing the subject to something about load-bearing structures. We weren't falling apart. We were just fading. That's when I met Dante. He was hired as the photographer for a tech company's anniversary gala I was running. 26, freelance, showed up in a leather jacket with a camera bag slung over his shoulder like he'd just walked off a movie set. He had this energy, loose, confident, like rules were suggestions. "You're Violet?" he said, grinning. "They told me you're the one who makes magic happen." It was a line. I knew it was a line. But God, it felt good to hear. The event was a nightmare. Caterer showed up late, sound system failed during the keynote. One of the executives got drunk and tried to karaoke. Dante stayed the whole time, capturing everything, cracking jokes between shots. At the end of the night, when I was running on fumes and adrenaline, he helped me pack up centerpieces. "You handled that like a boss," he said. "Most coordinators would have lost it." "Most coordinators don't have my tolerance for chaos," I said. "I like chaos," he said, holding my gaze a second too long. I should have shut it down right there. I should have said, "Thanks," grabbed my stuff, and gone home to Owen. But I didn't. Instead, I gave Dante my business card. "In case you want to work another event." He texted me the next day. At first, it was harmless. Just work stuff, discussing photos, potential collaborations. Then it shifted. Memes. Random observations about his day. Late night messages asking if I was still awake. I'd be lying in bed next to Owen, phone glowing under the covers, grinning at my screen like a teenager. Owen noticed. "You've been on your phone a lot lately," he said one morning, handing me coffee. "Just work," I said automatically. "Busy season." He didn't push it, but I saw the flicker of concern in his eyes. I started meeting Dante for coffee between events. Just to talk, I told myself. He made me laugh. He asked about my dreams, my frustrations, things Owen hadn't asked about in years. He looked at me like I was fascinating, like I mattered. "Your husband's a lucky guy," Dante said once, stirring his espresso. "Yeah," I said, but I didn't mean it. The guilt was there, buried under layers of rationalization. I wasn't doing anything wrong. It was just friendship. Just conversation. Owen had his work, I had mine. This was harmless. Until the night it wasn't. We just wrapped a product launch, upscale tech company, open bar, influencers everywhere. Dante walked me to my car in the parking garage. It was late, the concrete echoing our footsteps. He stopped next to my door, closer than necessary. "I have to tell you something," he said. My heart was pounding. "What?" "I think about you constantly." I should have walked away. I should have said I was married, that this couldn't happen, that I needed to go home. Instead, I just stood there. And then Dante leaned in and kissed me. And I didn't pull away. That kiss lasted maybe 10 seconds, but it split my life into before and after. We pulled apart, both breathing hard. Dante's hand was still on my waist. I could feel the heat of it through my blouse. "I should go," I whispered. "Yeah," he said. But neither of us moved. "I'm married." "I know, this can't happen." He stepped back, hands up. You're right. I'm sorry. That was out of line. I got in my car and drove home shaking. Owen was already asleep, snoring softly on his side of the bed. I stood in the bathroom for 20 minutes, staring at myself in the mirror, trying to figure out who the hell I was anymore. I told myself it was a mistake. A moment of weakness. It wouldn't happen again. It happened again 3 days later. Dante texted, "Can we talk? About what happened?" We met at a coffee shop downtown. I went planning to end it, to set boundaries, to be the faithful wife I was supposed to be. But when I saw him sitting there, that crooked smile, the way his eyes lit up when he saw me, "I can't stop thinking about you," he said. "Dante, I know you're married. I know this is complicated. But tell me you don't feel this too." I should have lied. Should have said it was nothing, that I loved my husband, that we were done. Instead, I said, "I feel it." The affair started for real after that. Hotel rooms on my lunch breaks. His apartment when Owen was working late. Elaborate lies about client meetings and site visits. I became a different person, someone who could smile at her husband over dinner while texting another man under the table. The guilt was constant, gnawing, but so was the rush. Dante made me feel alive in a way I'd forgotten was possible. Spontaneous. Reckless. When I was with him, I wasn't the responsible event coordinator or the dependable wife. I was just me. The version of me I thought I'd buried. Owen started trying harder. He'd come home with flowers. Surprise me with reservations at nice restaurants. Suggest weekend trips to places we'd talked about visiting. "I feel like we've been distant," he said one night, reaching across the couch for my hand. "I want to fix that. Whatever I'm doing wrong, just tell me." The sincerity in his voice made me want to vomit. "You're not doing anything wrong," I said. And I meant it. That was the worst part. "Then what is it?" His thumb traced circles on my palm. "You're not happy. I can see it." I pulled my hand away. "I'm just tired. Work's been insane." He didn't believe me. I could see it in his eyes. But Owen wasn't the type to push, to demand answers. He respected boundaries, gave me space. I wish he'd fought harder. Maybe it would have woken me up. Instead, I kept sinking deeper. 3 months of lies. 3 months of living a double life. Dante started talking about the future, vague, dreamy stuff about traveling together, maybe starting a photography business, keeping things fluid and free. Meanwhile, Owen was researching couples therapists. I came home one evening to find him at the kitchen table with a list of names and phone numbers. "I made some calls," he said carefully. "There are a few therapists with openings next month. I thought maybe we could. I want a divorce." The words came out before I'd even fully decided. But once they were out there, hanging in the air between us, I realized I meant them. Owen's face went white. "What?" "I'm not happy, Owen. I haven't been for a long time. So we fix it. That's what the therapist is for. We work on it together. I don't want to work on it." My voice was cold. Clinical. Like I was discussing a failed vendor contract. "I want out." "Is there someone else?" My heart stopped. No, the lie came so easily. Owen stared at me for a long moment, and I saw something break behind his eyes. But when he spoke, his voice was steady. "Okay," he said quietly. "If that's what you want, I won't fight you." I packed a bag that night. Stayed at a hotel. Filed papers the next week. And through it all, I felt lighter. Free. Like I'd been holding my breath for years and could finally exhale. Dante picked me up from the lawyer's office, all smiles and supportive hugs. "You did it," he said, kissing my forehead. "I'm proud of you." We celebrated with wine and takeout at his place. The divorce would take a few months to finalize, but I was already mentally moved on. "So," Dante said, refilling my glass, "I've been thinking. My lease is up next month." "Yeah?" He grinned, that reckless, boyish grin that had started this whole thing. "Maybe we should get a place together. Make this official." I moved in with Dante 6 weeks later. The divorce wasn't finalized yet, but I couldn't stay in that hotel another day. Dante found us a loft apartment in the Arts District, exposed brick, huge windows, the kind of place that screamed creative freedom. It was half the size of the house I'd shared with Owen and twice the rent, but I didn't care. This was my fresh start. The first month was everything I'd imagined. We stayed up until 3 a.m. drinking cheap wine and talking about art and philosophy and all the places we'd travel. Dante would wake me up at noon with kisses and coffee, and we'd spend the afternoon in bed or wandering galleries or taking photos in random parts of the city. I posted pictures on social media. Us at food trucks, at concerts, laughing on his couch. I looked happy. I felt happy. The divorce papers came through on a Tuesday. Owen had signed without contest, didn't ask for anything except his grandmother's ring back. His lawyer was professional, efficient. No drama. No fighting. It felt anticlimactic. "You okay?" Dante asked when I got off the phone with my lawyer. "Yeah," I said. "It's just weird. Like closing a book I didn't finish reading." "Hey." He tilted my chin up. "That book was boring. This is your sequel. Way better plot." I laughed, but something felt hollow. Reality started seeping in around month 2. Dante's photography gigs were inconsistent. Some weeks he'd book 3 corporate events, other weeks nothing. I was covering most of the rent, groceries, utilities. He'd shrug it off. "Art doesn't pay on a schedule, babe," but I noticed he had money for new camera equipment and drinks with his friends. His apartment, our apartment, was a disaster. Clothes everywhere, dishes piling up, equipment scattered across every surface. When I asked him to help clean, he'd say, "I'm not really a routine guy. That's what I love about us, we're spontaneous." Spontaneous was exhausting. I'd come home from 12-hour events to find him gaming with his buddies, takeout containers on the counter, no dinner planned. He'd kiss me absently and say, "Order something?" While his eyes stayed glued to the screen, the conversations that felt so deep at the beginning started feeling shallow. He'd talk for hours about his vision and his art, but when I tried to discuss work stress or bills or anything practical, he'd zone out. "You worry too much," he'd say. "Just live in the moment." I started noticing other things too. The way he'd still flirt with waitresses, baristas, women at bars. When I called him out, he'd laugh. "It's harmless. I'm with you, aren't I?" His phone was always face down. Always. I told myself I was being paranoid, projecting my own guilt. But doubt crept in like water under a door. Then I missed my period. I stared at the pregnancy test in the bathroom of a coffee shop, hands shaking. 2 lines. Unmistakably positive. I took 3 more tests over the next 2 days. All positive. I tried to figure out how I felt. Scared, definitely. But also, something else. A tiny spark of hope, maybe? That this could be a turning point. That Dante would step up, that we'd figure it out together. I told him on a Thursday night. He was editing photos on his laptop, beer in hand. "Dante," I said, sitting across from him. "I need to tell you something." "What's up?" "I'm pregnant." His fingers froze on the keyboard. For a long moment, he didn't move. Didn't look at me. "How far along?" His voice was flat. 6 weeks, maybe 7. He closed his laptop slowly. Set down his beer. Finally looked at me, and his face was completely blank. "I'm not ready for this. I know it's not ideal, but no." He stood up, ran both hands through his hair. "Violet, I'm 26 years old. I don't want kids. I don't want this. We can figure it out. I can't do this." He was pacing now, agitated. "This isn't what I signed up for. I'm not ready to be someone's dad. I'm barely keeping my own crap together." "So what are you saying?" He looked at me, and I saw it. The truth I'd been avoiding for months. I was never more than an escape for him. A fun distraction. The moment it got real, got hard, got complicated, he was done. "I need some space," he said. "To think." "Space?" "Yeah. Just a few days. To clear my head." He grabbed his jacket, his camera bag, some clothes from the bedroom. "Dante, wait. I'll call you," he said. And then he was gone. That was 3 days ago. His number goes straight to voicemail. He blocked me on everything. I'm sitting in this apartment, his apartment that I'm paying for, staring at a positive pregnancy test, and I finally understand what I've done. Dante never called. I waited a week before I accepted it. Kept checking my phone, my email, even drove by a few places I thought he might be. Nothing. He vanished like he'd never existed at all. Turns out, when things get real, 26-year-old free spirits run. I couldn't afford the loft alone, so I moved into a studio apartment across town. 1 room, shared laundry in the basement, a window that looked directly into someone else's window. My entire life fit into 6 boxes. The pregnancy was hell. Morning sickness that lasted all day. Working events while exhausted and nauseous, smiling through client meetings while my body felt like it was betraying me. I kept working because I had to. No partner, no savings, no backup plan. I thought about Owen constantly. Not in a romantic way. More like grief. I'd ruined the one stable thing in my life, and now I was paying for it in the most brutal way possible. My son was born on a Tuesday in February. 7 pounds, screaming his lungs out, perfect and terrifying. The nurses kept asking about the father, about family, about my support system. I had none. They sent me home after 2 days with a car seat I'd bought off Facebook Marketplace and a stack of pamphlets about postpartum resources. I sat in that studio apartment at 3 a.m., holding this tiny human who wouldn't stop crying, and I completely fell apart. This wasn't how it was supposed to go. I named him Cole. I don't know why. It just felt right. The first 3 months were a blur of sleepless nights, diapers, formula I could barely afford. I took a night shift at a catering company, less pay than coordinating, but more flexible hours. My neighbor, a retired teacher named Mrs. Huang, watched Cole for cheap when I worked. She never asked questions, never judged. Just helped. I was drowning. Every bill felt impossible. Every crying fit, every milestone, every tiny smile, I was doing it alone. Some nights I'd rock Cole to sleep and just cry, thinking about how I'd destroyed my entire life for a man who couldn't even be bothered to block me in person. And I thought about Owen. God, I thought about Owen all the time. How he would have handled this. How he would have been up at 3 a.m. helping with feedings. How he would have researched the best cribs and read parenting books. How he would have been a real partner. I threw that away. For what? For a guy who disappeared the second things got complicated? I started rehearsing apologies in my head during those sleepless nights. Owen, I know I don't deserve your time, but I made a mistake. The biggest mistake of my life. I was selfish and stupid and I ruined everything good we had. I'm not asking you to take me back. Just, please. I need help. 3 months postpartum, I was sitting on my floor surrounded by overdue bills, Cole crying in his crib, and I just broke. I couldn't do this anymore. Not alone. Not like this. I grabbed my phone and looked up Owen's address. He still lived in our old house. I'd driven past it once, late at night, when I was pregnant and desperate and hating myself. The lights were on. He was still there. I packed Cole into his car seat, got in my beat-up Honda, and drove across town. It was almost 7 p.m. when I pulled up. The house looked the same. Owen's truck in the driveway. Porch light on. I sat in the car for 10 minutes, trying to find courage. What if he slams the door in your face? What if he calls the cops? What if he's moved on and there's someone else inside? But I had nowhere else to go. No other options. This was my Hail Mary. I got out, lifted Cole from his car seat. He was awake, staring at me with those wide, dark eyes. I walked up the path I'd walked 1,000 times before. My hand was shaking when I rang the doorbell. Footsteps inside. The porch light flickered on brighter. The door opened. Owen stood there. Same height, same build, but something was different. He looked lighter somehow. Put together. His hair was shorter. He was wearing a nice sweater I'd never seen before. His eyes met mine, then dropped to Cole in my arms. Then back to my face. And his expression didn't change at all. No anger. No surprise. No emotion whatsoever. Just blank. Owen, I said, my voice cracking. I need to talk to you. He didn't say anything. Just stood there, looking at me like I was a stranger asking for directions. Please. Just 5 minutes, still nothing. Cole started fussing in my arms. I adjusted him, bouncing slightly, that automatic thing you do when you're a parent. Owen's eyes tracked the movement but his expression stayed frozen. I know I have no right to be here, I continued, words tumbling out faster. I know what I did. I know how badly I screwed up. But Owen, I'm drowning. Dante's gone. He left the second I told him I was pregnant. I'm working nights at a catering company, I can barely afford rent, and I stopped. Took a breath. I made a mistake. The biggest mistake of my life. I threw away everything we had for someone who didn't give a damn about me. And I'm not asking you to forgive me. I'm not even asking you to take me back. But this baby, my voice broke. He deserves better than what I can give him right now. And I thought maybe you could just. No, the word was quiet. Calm. Final. Owen, please. He stepped back. And slowly, deliberately, closed the door. The lock clicked. I stood there, staring at the door, not quite believing what just happened. Owen. I knocked. Owen, please, just let me explain. Nothing. I know you're angry. You have every right to be angry. But I'm begging you. The porch light went off. I knocked harder, desperation clawing up my throat. Owen. Please. I'm sorry, Okay? I'm so sorry. I ruined everything, I know that, but I need help. Your son, I stopped myself. Wrong words. My son needs help. Please. Silence. Cole was crying now, picking up on my panic. I stood there in the dark, on the porch of the house that used to be mine, and felt the full weight of what I'd done. He wasn't going to save me. Why would he? I drove home in a daze, Cole screaming the entire way. Got him fed, changed, finally down to sleep around midnight. Then I sat on my floor and cried until I had nothing left, but I couldn't give up. Not yet. The next day, I called Owen's parents. I hadn't spoken to them since the divorce. They'd tried reaching out a few times, but I'd ignored them, too ashamed to face them. Now I had no choice. His mother, Patricia, answered on the third ring. Violet? Hi, Patricia. I know this is. I know I'm probably the last person you want to hear from. A pause. What's going on? I told her everything. The affair, Dante leaving, the baby, my situation. I left nothing out. And then I told her about showing up at Owen's door. He wouldn't even talk to me, I said. He just closed the door. Another long pause. Violet, she said carefully, I need you to understand something. Owen was devastated when you left. It took him months to even function normally. We've never seen him like that. I know. But he's doing better now. He's rebuilt his life. And I don't know if dragging him back into this is fair. I'm not trying to drag him back. I just need help. Please. You know Owen. He has a good heart. Maybe if you talk to him, if he heard it from you. I could hear her conferring with someone in the background. Owen's father, probably. Finally, we'll come with you. Talk to him together. But I can't promise anything, Violet. He's not the same man you left. I know, I whispered. Thank you. We arranged to meet at Owen's house the following evening. Patricia said she'd call ahead, let him know they were coming. She didn't mention I'd be with them. The next night, I met them in his driveway at 6 p.m. Patricia looked older than I remembered, more tired. Owen's father, Gene, barely made eye contact with me. They were doing this out of compassion, not because they'd forgiven me. Cole was asleep in my arms, bundled in a blanket Mrs. Huang had knitted. Ready? Patricia asked. I nodded. We walked up to the door together. Patricia rang the bell, footsteps inside. The door opened. Owen's face when he saw all three of us, his parents and me, went hard. What is this? He asked quietly. Owen, please, Patricia said. Just let us come in. We need to talk. His jaw tightened. For a moment, I thought he'd slam the door on all of us, but then he stepped aside. Fine, he said. 5 minutes. We filed inside. The house looked different. New furniture. Repainted walls. Like he'd erased every trace of me. We stood in the living room, awkward and tense. Owen didn't sit. Didn't offer us seats. Just crossed his arms and waited. Patricia started. Owen, we know this is difficult. Do you? He cut her off, voice still calm but with an edge now. Do you know what it was like coming home to an empty house? Finding out the woman I thought I'd spend my life with was cheating on me? Realizing our entire last year together was a lie? No, Patricia said softly. We don't. But, then don't tell me what's difficult. Gene stepped forward. Son, we're not asking you to forgive her. We're asking you to listen. Owen's eyes finally landed on me. I'm listening. I opened my mouth to speak, but Owen held up a hand. Let me save you some time, he said. You're here because Dante left. Because you're struggling. Because you thought maybe I'd be your safety net. His voice was measured, almost clinical. Did I get that right? The accuracy of it knocked the air out of my lungs. Owen, where was this apology when you were sneaking around? When you were lying to my face every single day? He wasn't yelling. That was somehow worse. You didn't come here because you realized you made a mistake. You came here because you're out of options. That's not fair, I whispered. Fair? He laughed, sharp and bitter. You want to talk about fair? You blew up our marriage for a guy who bailed the second things got hard. And now you show up at my door with his kid, expecting what? Sympathy? Help? Patricia stepped between us. Owen, she's desperate. That baby isn't my responsibility. Owen's eyes stayed locked on mine. She made her choices. Those are the consequences. We raised you to be compassionate, Gene said. To help people when they're struggling. I am compassionate. But I'm not a doormat. Owen turned to his father. She didn't just leave. She cheated. Lied. Made me question my entire reality. And when she finally told the truth, It was only because she wanted out. He paused. You're asking me to save someone who destroyed me. And I won't do it. Cole stirred in my arms, starting to whimper. I bounced him automatically, tears streaming down my face now. I know what I did, I said, voice breaking. I know I destroyed everything. But I'm not asking for me. I'm asking for him. He's innocent in all this. So was I. Owen cut me off. And you didn't care. The silence that followed was suffocating. Owen walked to a drawer in the kitchen, pulled out a manila envelope. Came back and handed copies to each of us. What is this? Patricia asked, opening hers. A restraining order, Owen said calmly. Filed 3 days ago, after Violet showed up at my door the first time. She's not allowed within 500 feet of me or this property. My stomach dropped. You got a restraining order? You came to my home uninvited. Twice. I made my position clear the first time. You didn't respect that boundary. His tone was matter of fact. So I'm making it legal. Patricia's face crumpled. Owen, this is extreme? Is it? He looked at his mother. She threw away 6 years like they meant nothing. Now she wants back in because her life fell apart. And you're helping her manipulate me into feeling guilty. That's not what we're doing. Then what are you doing? His voice rose for the first time. You show up at my house with her, ambush me, and expect me to what? Play house with my ex-wife and another man's child? Watch her parade around the life she chose while I pretend none of it happened? Jean put a hand on Owen's shoulder. We're just trying to help. Owen shrugged it off. Then help her. You want to support Violet? Go ahead. But don't ask me to light myself on fire to keep her warm. He walked to the door, opened it. You need to leave. All of you. Owen, Patricia tried again. Mom. He looked at her, and something in his expression softened slightly. I love you. But if you keep pushing this, if you keep choosing her pain over my healing, we're done. I will cut you out of my life. Don't make me do that. The finality in his voice left no room for argument. Patricia looked at me, then back at Owen. Jean was already heading for the door. We're sorry, Patricia whispered to Owen. We just thought. I know, he said quietly. But I'm done being the person everyone else needs me to be. I'm choosing myself this time. They left. I stood there for one more second, holding Cole, looking at the man I'd married. The man I'd destroyed. I really am sorry, I said. Owen's expression didn't change. I know you are. But sorry doesn't fix this. It doesn't undo what you did. And it doesn't obligate me to help you. So that's it? That's it. I walked out. The door closed behind me with a quiet click. That was 6 months ago. I'm still in the studio apartment. Still working nights. Cole is 9 months old now, starting to crawl, making sounds that almost resemble words. Mrs. Huang still watches him when I work. I'm making it, barely, but I'm making it. I saw Owen once, from a distance, outside a coffee shop downtown. He was with someone, a woman, pretty, laughing at something he said. They looked comfortable together. Happy. He never saw me. I heard through mutual acquaintances that he moved out of the old house. Fresh start, new place, completely moved on. I'm blocked on every platform. The restraining order is still active. His parents tried calling me once, months ago. I didn't answer. They chose him, as they should have. I don't blame them. Some nights, when Cole is finally asleep and the apartment is quiet, I think about the life I had. The coffee every morning. The stupid sticky notes. The stability, the partnership, the safety of being with someone who actually loved me. I traded all of that for excitement. For passion. For a man who didn't even stick around long enough to meet his own son. Owen didn't scream at me. Didn't try to ruin my life or turn people against me. He didn't need revenge because watching me live with my choices was punishment enough. He just closed the door and moved on. And that silence, that complete absence of him from my life, is louder than anything he could have said. I wanted passion and adventure. I got it. And I lost everything that mattered. People say you don't know what you have until it's gone. They're right. I had everything. And I threw it away with both hands. Owen didn't need to destroy me. I did that all on my own. And his silence? It's the only revenge he needed. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you really like our videos, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day.